can Twitch survive the next 5 years, or at the very least maintain some level of influence over the world of content creation? Now, I know that question seems overly dramatic to ask, but after the last few weeks, some of the biggest streamers in the world are asking the same thing. You see, in case you missed it, the last few weeks has seen some unbelievable things happen in the world of content creation, to the point that pretty much all of the rules have just been thrown out the window thanks to YouTube and, well, Twitch shooting itself in the foot. But first, let's acknowledge Twitch's rare win. You see, they recently banned gambling after years of controversy. At least, that's what the headlines say, despite it not being true at all. But why are these streams even controversial in the first place? Well, critics say that it's because these streamers are exposing kids to the positives of gambling without the negatives. Basically, you're providing them with a distorted or unrealistic picture of what gambling looks like. The distortion is aided by the fact that a lot of sponsored websites will provide the streamer with a purse to use during their stream. What that means is, let's say the streamer is given $200K, that $200K is given to them explicitly to gamble away. So if they lose $200K in one night, guess what happens? They still make a profit because that $200K was never theirs, and they still get there up to millions of dollars a month from doing the streams in the first place. Also, I can almost guarantee that some of the websites sponsoring these streamers fudge the numbers for them so they do a lot better than the average person can expect to do, which I know sounds very tinfoil hatty, and no, I don't have proof, but like, that is literally something that has happened online before. We've seen it happen before. This controversy all came to a head thanks to the streamer by the name of Slicker. Name and shame, cause fuck this dude. You see, Slicker scammed streamers and viewers out of over $300,000. Now, to be clear, he didn't just scam the millionaires like Ludwig, he literally scammed everyday viewers, including someone who was apparently saving up for chemo. So, sounds like a great guy to me. And when eventually caught, because of course he was, Slicker cited his gambling addiction as the driving force behind this. This furthered the already massive calls to ban sponsored gambling streams. As a result, Twitch got their biggest win in years by actually following through. Except, not really. If you actually look at the blog post where Twitch announced this change, you can see that they specifically say that they are making a policy update on October 18th to prohibit streaming of gambling sites that include slots, roulettes, or dice games that aren't licensed either in the US or other jurisdictions that provide sufficient consumer protections. So unless all of the websites under this umbrella are illegal in the US, what consumer protections are there? I mean, chance-based gambling is inherently based on the exploitation of addiction. That is literally the whole business model. There's a reason why it's so funny that Trump's casino declared bankruptcy 3 times. The whole model of a casino is that they always win, but they sell you a dream in return. So right off the bat, the one good headline Twitch has had in longer than I can remember, and the headlines aren't accurate. Nothing's really changing. And in case you thought that Twitch would take that win and just lie low, they actually decided to announce a major change to how they would distribute revenue to creators. You see, on Twitch, affiliates and partners make money from streaming, mostly from their community. And most of these creators, the vast majority, see a 50-50 split with Twitch for every dollar made on the platform. Which, by the way, that rate is really, really low. Like, YouTube offers 70-30 for all of the same services. And that's kind of crazy since every streamer can go to a different platform, but Twitch can't replace streamers being on their platform, right? In order to prevent this, Twitch decided to offer some of the top streamers a 70-30 cut. And a lot of these streamers have actually advocated for applying this cut to all streamers, because again, 50-50 is not a lot in this market. Instead, Twitch announced that they were going to be cutting everyone's split down to 50%, adding that they would never offer the 70-30 cut to anyone ever again. And those who already have said deal with Twitch, they would only honor it going forward for the first $100,000 in that streamer's income. After that, it's 50-50. And I hear you saying, oh, boo-hoo, if you're a content creator with a 6-figure salary, you have no right to complain about anything. You're incredibly privileged. And yeah, I agree with you to an extent. But the problem is, Twitch is what you would call a very top-heavy platform, as in 1% of streamers drive 20% of the website's overall watch time, which is nuts, right? Also a lie. It's actually 0.1% of streamers, 1 in 1,000, that make up 75% 34% of the website's watch time. In other words, the very people that are making Twitch function are getting a 30% pay cut. Not a real smart move on the part of Twitch, if you ask me. The obvious solution, in my opinion, was to make everyone else's cut that very deal, the 70-30 split, and after 100K is when it goes down, because that would have given 99% of the platform a raise, only cut the pay of 1%, and still save Twitch money because that 1% is making all the money anyway. And then when the large streamers complain, the fact that it benefits everyone who's not rich means the community would probably regulate itself. But because this move benefits no one, Twitch literally put the people who became millionaires from playing video games in a position where they can complain about a 30% pay cut, which will not hurt them from being millionaires, and come off as the victims. You gotta understand how uniquely bad of a PR move that has to be, right? And all of that is made worse when you remember that YouTube does give all of its partners a 70% cut of memberships, super chat, and super thanks. Which reminds me, I have memberships and super thanks on, so if you want to support the channel, maybe check it out. Appreciate it. Anyway, if you're talking about video creation, those rates are worse than the main competitor of Patreon. But if you're talking about live streaming, you would be making 40% more per dollar on YouTube than Twitch. That is literally enough to make streaming a viable source of income for so many people. And what makes this worse is that Twitch recommended that these streamers make up the 30% pay cut by running more ads. You see, most partners are required to run around 3 minutes worth of ads every hour, right? So usually they'll take a pee break in order to do this. The problem is ads don't work on a live streaming platform beyond this because you miss whatever's going on during that ad. Like here, I'll run an ad right now. See, video picked up right where it left off, right? If you even got an ad, right? That doesn't work with streaming. If it was streaming, you'd be missing what I'm saying right now in order to see some Kohl's commercial, right? So in other words, creators are being asked to actively make the experience worse for their viewers in order to make back the money they were already earning. Now this sounds typical, right? Pre-roll ads aren't anything new. YouTube's had them forever. The problem is Twitch typically runs unskippable ads every time you click on a stream. Here is a real clip of me using Twitch. So if you're channel surfing to find a stream to settle down with for a bit, you will get unskippable ads no matter what, which from personal experience has prevented me from checking out all of the streamers I follow that are online right now, because I'm not going to sit through 10 minutes of ads. I just go with the usual at that point. Whereas YouTube has 1, skippable ads, which Twitch does not, and 2, when you click on a video or stream and get an ad, YouTube will not serve you another one for a few minutes. That way, browsing content is actually possible. By the way, Twitch's system is horrible for small streamers as well, as it even further reduces the odds of them being able to pick up new viewers. Because why would you click on a streamer you've never watched before if you have to watch ads in order to get the privilege just to see if you want to watch them or not? And then if you don't, you have to watch more ads when you go to your next option, right? And so while Twitch was shooting itself in the foot, YouTube has been making some insane moves online. Firstly, with how they're financing YouTube Shorts. In case you missed it, YouTube announced that they would start serving ads in the short shelf, and they would split that money with creators, 45% going to creators and 55% to YouTube. After music labels take their cut so that they can use licensed music, it's weird, but you get the point. And that might not sound great, but up until now, both YouTube and TikTok have just kind of had a lump sum of money sitting around, and if you make shorts, they just give you a little bit of that money with no real, plan. Just, you got a lot of views, here's kind of a lot of money, but even then, not really. So this is a huge step in the right direction. This is the first platform to actually provide a comprehensive plan for monetizing short-form content. On top of this, while all of the controversy was going on, YouTube reinforced their commitment to offering a better live streaming cut than Twitch. And yes, the user experience is a lot better for live streaming on Twitch, but Ludwig has already made an extension that aimed to make the YouTube experience much better. So when YouTube presumably incorporates this stuff into their own infrastructure natively, that takes away Twitch's only advantage outside of community and branding. Also, YouTube is paying millions for the top streamers to come over from Twitch, and they're specifically trying to recruit streamers with similar communities. That way, if you belong to said community, there is no reason to visit Twitch anymore. When you consider just how top-heavy Twitch is, every time a top streamer makes that move, it is a devastating loss for them. So, while YouTube does all of this, what's Twitch up to? Well, they're removing the ability to host other streamers on your page when you're offline, which isn't a huge feature, but like, are you guys really in a position to be cutting features while YouTube's adding them? And also, until now, partnering with Twitch meant you had to sign an exclusivity deal, right? Which meant you weren't allowed to stream on any other platform. And that was just overturned, except for multi-streaming on like YouTube and Facebook, meaning you can try streaming on YouTube and still maintain your Twitch partnership. So this rare pro creator move from Twitch might actually shoot them in the foot, because creators might go to YouTube, try out all these fancy new features and better revenue split and say, hey, I'm just gonna stay there or split my time between the two platforms and give Twitch less money, which by the way, multiple creators have already expressed interest in doing exactly that. So YouTube is positioning itself as a one-stop shop for content creators. You can grow by using shorts with better monetization than TikTok. You can put out passion projects using long-form content, which they still have the best monetization for. And you can make streams with better monetization than Twitch, all on the same channel. On the other hand, Twitch offers virtually no independent means of growth on their platform, and you only have live streams, live or pre-recorded, as potential content for your viewers. And if you want to be a streamer on Twitch, you are most likely in a position where, as Ludwig and Cr1TiKaL say, you have to build a community on one platform and try to migrate that community over to Twitch, right? Because they don't help you grow, which is very difficult to do, by the way. It's very difficult to just mobilize people. For example, I have 9,000 subscribers on this channel and yet less than 50 followers on Twitter, which, by the way, you can check out. Links in the description or it's up in the top right corner right now. I don't usually self-promo this much, but I'm literally talking about all of the things I already do, so might as well, right? And while YouTube's moves are great if you're trying to come up as a content creator at this very moment exclusively on YouTube, for everyone else, this is not good. You know, YouTube already has a monopoly on long-form content since it operates at a loss, and no one else can really afford to do that. So when they announce very unpopular moves, such as removing dislikes, there is no chance of getting them to change their minds as well. What are you gonna do? Go to Facebook for videos? Come on, be real. So YouTube is in a position where they could try to outperform TikTok and Twitch until they're forced to shut down or at least lose popularity in the West, and then they can just reverse all of these good decisions. Like, if Twitch shuts down, what's stopping YouTube from going from a 70-30 cut to a 30-70 cut? Capitalism is built on the idea that competition will bring out the best in a product or service, but that doesn't work if Twitch is doing nothing to stay competitive. And the reason I frame the question behind this video as can Twitch survive is because long-term, this does not look great for them. If the large creators leave for YouTube and small creators refuse to go to Twitch in order to replace them, what does that leave Twitch with? And I've already explained why the large creators are leaving Twitch, but I want to take a moment and demonstrate why new creators would likely be hesitant to move over to Twitch by discussing my own concerns as a small creator who has steadily accrued an audience and is flirting with the idea of dipping his toe into streaming maybe in the near future. How does this affect the business decisions that I and every other small creator have to make? Because what I'm about to explain is the same thought process that every non-gaming small creator is going through right now. So on the one hand, I can use all three forms of content on one channel to gain subscribers as quickly as possible, right? Problem is though, I've seen a lot of channels that blow up in subscribers from shorts, and they certainly have like way more than me, like double, triple, quadruple, on and on. But those same channels will struggle to get even a 1/10 of the views I can on a long form video. And my views aren't anything crazy for the number of subscribers I have. Even YouTube has admitted that the algorithm did not recognize the possibility of recommending a creator's long-form content to the people that view their shorts and vice versa. The algorithm would literally treat one channel like two completely separate entities. They just started fixing that. So what good are subscribers that aren't actually watching, right? That's just a vanity number. So YouTube hasn't figured out yet how to make one channel a one-stop shop for a creator who wants to make multiple forms of content. But if they do fix that, like with the new ability to make shorts that act as a preview to videos that link directly to that video, it could be the boost a tons of creators are looking for. So can you justify missing out on it? But now what about streaming? Streaming is way more lucrative per viewer than video content. I mean, I know streamers who make careers out of just 150 average concurrent viewers, while 1,000 viewers on a video can net between $2 and maybe $10 for most creators. So I guess streaming would be a beneficial supplemental income. And if I do it on YouTube, I have shorts and long form videos helping to promote the content with the highest profit potential. And since they don't have to migrate to other platforms, I would have significantly more live viewers on YouTube than on Twitch, which other creators have seen for themselves. Also, it's a better revenue split on YouTube, so I'm making more per dollar than I ever will on Twitch. So it seems like YouTube would be the no-brainer, right? But the YouTube ecosystem isn't really conditioned to pay for content. I mean, I literally have one member, shout out Kyle, because that's all YouTube's viewers have been trained to do, is just sit through ads. Also, if I stream on YouTube, I risk my following being fragmented between people who enjoy gaming content and people who'd rather see me talk about media as a whole, which I feel like would probably hurt me in the long run, since the algorithm would have no idea what subscribers to show what pieces of content to. So bye-bye click-through rate and bye-bye any chance of the algorithm blessing me in the future, right? Not to mention, if I'm ever kicked off of YouTube, that's it. I don't have any following anywhere else. My thousands of hours of work on this platform are gone instantly. But if streaming were to be something that I was investing time into, doing it even more than like once a month, I feel like Twitch would be the better move in spite of all of its issues. It would diversify my income, I would have a more dedicated, even if smaller community there, plus if I'm on Twitch it means I could be rated, which is when a streamer ends their stream by tuning all of their viewers into somebody else's stream, which could provide an occasional boost, gotta acknowledge that. Anyway, notice how nearly all of the reasons I just gave for using Twitch related to not what Twitch could offer me, but rather how it would benefit me to have a second platform since my niche isn't gaming. Also, this is probably a good time to mention that I actually already made a Twitch to make sure no one takes my username. So if you do want to follow there, that way you get notifications if I go live there instead of relying on YouTube notifications, which are not reliable at all. Feel free to check it out in the description. It's the first thing you'll see, or you could click the top right corner right now. And what the hell, this video's already been full of shameless plugs, so feel free to check out more videos on my channel after leaving a like. In fact, YouTube thinks that across my entire channel, this is going to be the video that you get the most out of, so what have you got to lose, right? But like I was saying, platforms die. Vine and MySpace were both major names back in the day and went down precisely because they couldn't adapt with the times, which actually reminds me of this week's sponsor of, I'm just kidding, I haven't sold out that badly quite yet, but give me a bit more time.